Credit Union Center and the BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships. The women are on the surface and getting revved up for the short program. And might this be Joannie Rochette's show? 23 years of age, 4 times the national champion, searching for the 5th golden ring today. Could Mira Leung stand in her way? She's only 19 years of age, from Vancouver, but been to the Olympic Games and for the last 3 years, 2nd at the national championships. Back with Tracy and with Kurt. First, a quick word about Joannie Rochette and trying to confirm how good she is now.
Well, she just did on the warm-up there by showing us her triple-triple combination, and that combination will get her right to the top of the leaderboard at nationals or at a world championships in the short program. That's exactly what she needs to bring out to competition ice. She looks great so far.
You know what? You always say that Mira Leung is able to skate the lights out at the national championship. She hasn't had a great season leading up to this. Can she do it again?
Well, I think she's been a bit disappointed with her results internationally, but Canadian seems to be where she shines. And what little clip you saw of her just now on the 5-minute warm-up is the story. She went to Laurie Nickel, has a new short program, and seems to be reinventing herself. That little tiny bit of choreography has me I'm wondering what else she has to offer, and she could be trouble for Cynthia Phaneuf.
Dark horse, lion in the weeds, came in the flight before. Amélie Lacoste, a 20-year-old from Saint-Hubert, Quebec. What'd you see, Tracy?
Well, this is a skater who's been plagued by injuries over the past few years and this season. But she was able to get it together in December and is in the top of her game. And she came out in the short program looking so confident, skated very, very well. And she's put up some good scores that could have her in the top 3 at the end. Watch this triple loop. Triple loop, double loop.
And with no hesitation going into those jumps, absolutely amazing. And what she did in a few seconds is save a triple. That's a fighter, and I like that.
All right, Amélie Lacoste has done very well, and it's a very special moment for another skater. Will she be able to seize the moment? With more, here's Brenda.
Well, Kurt mentioned Cynthia Phaneuf won the Canadian title 5 years ago, then struggled the next few seasons. Then at last year's Canadians, finished 3rd. A lot of people thought, hey, she's back and would be a strong contender for this year's world team. But it's been a struggle this season. She's admitted confidence has been the problem, so she and coach Annie Barabé have made some changes to her short program they hope will get her back on track.
We decided to simplify the short program. We decided to put the triple toe instead of the triple flip. Point-wise, it doesn't make a huge difference, but for her confidence, I think it's going to make a huge difference.
And guess what? It's her birthday today. She turns 21 years old, and a great short program would be the perfect birthday gift, wouldn't it?
Well, it sure would, Brenda. 21 years of age. Cynthia Phaneuf has been the Canadian champion. Here's the order of skate. In the final flight here at Credit Union Center in Saskatoon, Catherine Kang will lead it off. Diane Smith, the junior who was at the Junior Grand Prix final in Seoul, South Korea, will be next. Joannie Rochette will have the final say. She is the 4-time Canadian champion. And there's Joannie. Backstage now, big smile on her face, and you know what? She had a wonderful skate at the Grand Prix final in Seoul, South Korea in the long program, and she bounced back very nicely after a subpar short performance. Back with Manon Perron, and of course that is Shaylin Bourne, who is now involved in her programs. Meantime, on the ice, 19-year-old Catherine Kang representing British Columbia. She trains in Burnaby at 8 rinks with Joanne McLeod, Jill Harvey, and Victor Kratz.
She was 13th at the Canadian Championships last year. This year, though, she has her triple Lutz and has done it in competition, and that's making a big difference for her so far this season. Skating to Beausoir. And opening here with a planned triple Lutz double toe.
Great execution, transfer of weight over top of the picking foot, and such elevation. Really fantastic, top-notch element.
Three jumps are required. Her second, planned triple Salchow.
A little bobble on the landing, but very clean, fully rotated. see the concentration on her face. It seems like after a triple Lutz, the spiral should be easy, but obviously more comfortable with the jumping than she is with the spiral sequence.
Tell you what, though, her coaches are right below us here in the arena, and they've had nothing but clapping going on. Every jump so far she's hit.
Because you can only try 3 jumps, it's really important you make the most of the opportunity. So the coach is appreciative of the fact that jumping-wise, she's gone clean. Very, very important to get those scores.
As Catherine finishes with her last spin, I found that the energy she had at the beginning of the program kind of got waned away, almost like the music was quieting down as she did 2. But 3 good spins, 3 pretty good jumps, she should be happy. There's the smile.
Well, our coaches are certainly enthused about Catherine Kang's short program. The 19-year-old from Burnaby, British Columbia. Catherine Kang will return with more from the National Figure Skating Championships in Saskatoon in just a moment. Welcome back to Saskatoon. Scott Russell with Tracy Wilson, Kurt Browning, and Brenda Irving. And almost breathless there is Catherine Kang, who's had a good short program here at Credit Union Center.
Well, this is obviously a strong element for her. She gets down on the knee, great timing on that takeoff, really a great Lutz. Not as much flow between the 2 jumps as you'd like. But in the 5-minute warm-up, I think it took her 1 minute to take a breath. She seemed very nervous and a little bit tight on the landing of the Salchow, but where the nerves showed was on the footwork and the spiral sequence.
And here's a look at the spiral sequence that you're talking about. And this is one of the elements that she really needs to work on. It was not a high level, so
Quite
it's
slow.
the degree of difficulty, and the slowness comes into the grade of execution of it. And it's really, she's got the jumps. That's the main thing. And now all these other things can come as she starts to jump like this in competition. She's going to gain confidence and speed, and she just has to keep running with it. I like so much about what I see in her delicateness, her jumping ability.
She looks tall and long on the ice, great lines.
And now a little bit of speed, and that's really going to help her.
She needed a 53.55 to take the lead. Won't get that. 46.10 behind Emily Lacoste and Adriana De Sanctis. 3rd place right now for Catherine Kang. Big moment for a skater from a small place, born in Watford, Ontario, population 1,700. This is Diane Smith.
Diana's had a great season on the Junior Grand Prix circuit, finishing 3rd and 2nd and making it to the Junior Grand Prix final. She is, other than Joannie, the other skater in this competition who's planned a triple-triple. If she does it, it's coming up here. Triple flip, and she turned the 2nd to a double. No deduction, just not as high scores. Another difficult jump, triple Lutz. Excellent. Excellent, and that's why she's been so successful on the Junior Grand Prix circuit. Consistency in her jumps.
Trains out of Strathroy, Ontario, with her coaches Scott Raychuk and Allison Perkis.
Well, not only is she a consistent jumper, consistently high levels and a fine quality to her spins, they've really developed her coaches, Scott and Allison, they've really developed her total package. Allison taking care of the choreography, Scott, the technical requirements on the jumps and the spins. This is a well-trained, well-prepared skater, and that's as good as it gets. Well done.
Yep.
Isn't it nice to be busy and to be brilliant? She's a pre-med student at the University of Western Ontario in London. Diane Smith. We're back to Saskatoon in a moment. Welcome back. Diane Smith awaiting her scores. She was 8th at the Junior Grand Prix final in December in Goyang City, South Korea, soaking up the atmosphere and nailing it here.
Opening with her combination. She had thought about trying a triple-triple, had warmed it up in practice, didn't get the height and the speed on the first jump to be able to turn the second to a triple.
And here's the triplets that I found didn't quite get off the ice, but she fought for it, maybe a 2-foot in the landing, and the judges probably noticing not a lot of footwork before the jump, and they really need that. The spin, though, fantastic, Trace?
And the highest of levels for the spin. And watch how she keeps the speed going. She has good, strong positions, fast, tight spinning position throughout that. So she's picking up high levels throughout the program, other than the jumps.
Out of a small club in Strathroy, Diane Smith, 30-35 for technical, 21-64 for the program, 51-99 leaves her second, still behind Emily Lacoste.
That triple loop combination's holding up for Emily.
And the speed.
There it is.
Out of the kiss and cry and back onto the ice. The current standings, Lacoste, Diane Smith, and then Adriana De Sanctis in third. As you take a look at Miriam Samson, the 20-year-old from Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, Quebec, she's been 5th at the last 2 Canadian Senior Championships.
She's been injured since the end of November. Felt a ligament in the right ankle snap, had a partial tear, was off her foot completely for 3 weeks, has only been training for the last 3 weeks coming into this competition. Opening with her double axel. And that was a hard fall.
That was a hard fall.
And that just jars you. Got to recover. She's got lots of speed here.
She's looking for a triple Lutz in combination. Well, no deduction. She just decided to do a single instead of a double after the triple Lutz. But she's back on her feet and hopefully will recover from that fall.
Has to be tough to try and recover from an injury at an inopportune time with the Olympics so close. She had shown potential earlier in her career. In 04, she was the Canadian junior champion, and I think, Tracy, must lead to a certain amount of frustration.
Well, when your body lets you down and you can't train, you can't be on the ice, when you want to be gearing up, you're sitting around just waiting. And it just affects all the training time. You need that mileage to give you confidence in competition. It's interesting to watch this program because you see moments of just how good she can be.
Ladies and gentlemen.
She took a hard fall early in the program, but you have to put it this way. Miriam Samson gutted it out to complete the short program here in Saskatoon. Beck is awaiting her marks. We want to take another look at her program.
Triple-lets combination. I made a mistake saying that the single-lets is going to be okay. The double, expected double right here was a required element, and unlike Miriam, I can go back and fix my mistakes. Very disappointing for her.
Huge hits technically in the scores with some of the spins as well as the jumps. Just not fully recovered from an injury. Gave it her best though.
The next competitor.
1585 technical, 1994 the deduction one, 34.79, and it's going to take some time for Miriam Samson of Quebec. Down in 14th spot, and that's unfamiliar territory for her. Big smile on the face of 21-year-old Cynthia Phaneuf. Her birthday today. She won a Canadian championship in 2004. At that time, she was only 15. It happened in Edmonton, and she unseated Jennifer Robinson to do it.
Skating to Debussy's La Nocturne. She will open with her double axel.
There's that flow that the judges are looking for. As much speed coming out of the jump as she had going in, and quality. She's looking for that kind of landing here on her combination. Did not get off the ice the way she wanted to. It sends a shockwave of fear into the skater, and they start second guessing it, get loose in the air, and you see the result.
Smart move there. In past competitions, Cynthia's come back with another difficult triple, a triple flip. That time, opting for an easier triple toe. Very clever choice. Play it safe, get the scores. Footwork superb.
For coach Joannie Rochette and Cynthia Phaneuf's physical metamorphosis is well documented. Will it soon translate to success for this talented skater? We'll have her marks in a moment. Mira Leung of Welcome back to the BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships from Saskatoon as we watch Cynthia Phaneuf in the short program.
Well, this was to be a combination triple Lutz, and as you mentioned, Kurt, she did not get the height. Looked like she may not have got the rotation, but I think she had enough rotation there.
The judges will let us know in a second, but this was one of the highlights. Footwork sequence, full use of upper body. If you could hear the music again, it was exactly what the body was doing, interpreting the music. The double axel off the top of the program, exquisite. It was unfortunate that she didn't get up off the ice after that Lutz fall and skate to the other end and do triple-toed combination, and she could have had that opportunity. Maybe she was trying, and that's why the triple-toe didn't land. So let's see what they say.
So she gets credit for rotating the Lutz. She also gets very high levels for the fine quality and the footwork, the spins. She is truly a world-class skater.
We're still waiting to see it all at the same time.
See the jumps.
55-16 for Cynthia Phaneuf on her 21st birthday. And that's enough to take the lead with two skaters to come here at the National Championships in the short program. The first of which is 19-year-old Mira Leung of Vancouver, British Columbia, for the first time at a Canadian Championship in 7 years. She's not with her coach, Joanne McLeod.
Lots of changes for Mira. A new short program choreographed by Lori Nickel.
Triple Lutz, double loop. What a fighter. Moving super slow and very cautious into that double axel, the same way most skaters do when they're performing a brand new program for the first time in public. Last jump pass, triple flip, better than usual.
I like the intricacy of this program, and I love Mira's commitment to it.
New paint job for Mira, and it shines pretty bright.
She was 12th at the Olympic Games in 2006, bound and determined to have one of those spots to the Olympics in her own backyard in Vancouver in 2010. Mira Leung, second the last 3 years at the Canadian Championships. Welcome back. Mira Leung of Vancouver had an indifferent Grand Prix season. She was 7th at Skate America, 11th at the Cup of China. Here's what she's done at the Nationals.
Yeah, here's her combination. The double loop's fine. I always have a bit of a problem with her Lutz. I find it's not what I would call a classic jump. This jump looks not too bad in the replay. It was so slow, squeaked out. And yet parts of her program were fantastic, a real blending of good and bad.
Nice position here. Look at this unique back position.
Fantastic.
Like American skater Caroline Zhang adding it. As you talked about, a mix of good and bad. That double axel, she finished the rotation on the ice, so was downgraded for that element,
that's gonna hurt.
losing basically everything, picking
the quality
up
of the last
0.3.
spin on the last spin of the program, she lost control, started losing her center of balance on the spin, and so some great stuff. And let's see how they mixed up.
So used to seeing her with Joanne McLeod. Jiang Yibeng is the coach now. 48.76 in the short program, and there you go. She's in 5th spot.
And now.
Well, the roar of the crowd for the 4-time Canadian champion, Joannie Rochette, who has been brilliant in the past, brilliant earlier this season at Skate Canada in the Grand Prix of France, which she won. She had a hiccup in the short program at the Grand Prix final in Korea, and then came back strong in the free skate to be 4th at the Grand Prix final.
And she will skate to Summertime, choreographed by Shaylin Bourne.
Just hoping that she would stay focused, because this is almost like an exhibition for her. She has this title in the back of her pocket. She just singled her first element. Just a concentration issue. Can she get it back? Good fight. Triple flip, triple tone. I've been waiting for that for 2 years. Fantastic. And to come off of that mistake, fantastic.
Funny, you know, Manon Perron and Shaylin Bourne just hugged each other after that triple-triple. They've been waiting for it too, Kurt.
Yes.
Final triple coming up here. Lots of speed footwork into her triple Lutz. Oh, you could see she got her feet caught on the takeoff.
She didn't reach back at all. So light.
Wow, you never know what you're going to get. That was like a roller coaster. Valleys and peaks and valleys again. Joannie Rochette, the 4-time champion. She singled a jump. She hit a triple-triple and had a fall. There was something for everybody there.
And I don't think she ever imagined in her wildest dreams that she'd come out of a program where she finally landed her triple-triple in a short program and be so disappointed in her performance. She actually, to me, looked disinterested through the last half of the program, that she was so mad at herself that she started to lose the program as well in some of the other elements.
And anytime you do pop a single axle, I mean a double axle into a single that way when there was really nothing wrong with the takeoff, it was a mental mistake. Maybe her mind was already on that triple flip. And you know how we all know how important that triple flip, triple toe is to Joannie. Maybe that was all that was important today.
It's kind of like what happens to the guys when they're trying to get a quad into their program.
Yeah, right.
They land it and everything else goes to pot because that's been their focus.
But it was interesting to me that she was able to do the single axle mistake and come around the corner. I'm also curious to see what the judges do with the triple flip, triple toe. I hope they give it to her just for her.
If it's rotated, they will. Here's the axle. She goes up. Didn't feel right, and to me that's just not being committed on the takeoff, a little bit out of focus. Now let's take a look here at the triple-triple combination, and you want to watch as she lands the jump. So here's the first one, the triple flip, yes, easily backwards. The second one, they will be assessing that second jump to see if it was fully rotated in the air. That looked like a quarter turn on the landing. Here's the Lutz.
And from this angle, you can't see it. You've got to reach back so your momentum can ride up and over your toe into the ice. She didn't reach back at all. It was almost like she was in a hurry to get the jump over with. And they just she skated into her own foot, basically. Not a normal mistake for her. So what a mixture of emotions she's got right now. She's saying to herself, well, I'm glad this wasn't Worlds. I'm glad I got the triple in. Whether they give it to her or not, I think it's going to be a step up for her.
And we've seen this a lot with Canadian champions in the past. They kind of come out, it's a hard competition, as you say, because for her, she really was not being chased coming in here. So you start to think of it a little bit as an exhibition.
But poor her, she can't win this. All she can do is be, you know, well, this could be better and that could be better. She can't win it. All she can do is lose it. So it's a hard place to stay focused on.
Longtime coach Manon Perron with her, waiting for the marks. Intrigue developing early, 25.67 technical, 28.91, 53.58. She's second.
And she did not get credit for the second triple in the triple-triple combination. That was downgraded.
But on a personal level, she rotated it. So I think that I hope she puts that into her bank and thinks about it. Oh.
And right into the kiss and cry. There's Brenda Irving. Go ahead.
Well, Joannie, a bit of a roller coaster ride out there. How would you describe how it went for you and how you felt?
Of course, it's disappointing because I was trying for doing much better than this. I'm glad that I could try the triple him tonight. So that's something very positive to bring in for Worlds. But you know, I just want to come back stronger tomorrow.
What Tracy was saying near the middle of the program, it seemed like you seemed a little bit angry at yourself and maybe lost a little focus there.
Yes, maybe, because this is a very unusual mistake to pop the axle right from the start. But you know, the Lutz, I knew right from the takeoff it would be wrong, but I knew I had to rotate, otherwise it's mandatory to do a triple. But I think tomorrow I'm going to be, you know, skating angry at myself, and that's always good for me.
Best of luck in the free skate.
Thank you.
Scott?
Thank you very much, Brenda and Joannie. There are the standings after the short program. Cynthia Phaneuf has the lead. It's a slight one over Joannie Rochette. Emily Lacoste is in third position right now in Saskatoon. Emily Lacoste is getting it back and doing so in a hurry. Joannie Rochette, the four-time champion, has ground to make up now. Cynthia Phaneuf, on her birthday, is in the driver's seat.
Well, I'm with the leader after the short program, Cynthia Phaneuf. And by the way, Cynthia turns 21 years old today. Happy birthday. A great present for you.
Yes, it is. I'm very happy about my performance, and this is a great gift for me.
Did you know when you stepped on the ice that it was going to be something special, that you were going to have a strong skate?
You know what? Yes, because when I went on the ice, I was very confident. I was feeling very well, so I know that it was going to be a good skate.
What does it mean to you to have a season best today for the short program?
It means that my training is paying me back, and you know, my hard work, and I know I have a fall, but for me it's very good because I turned my jump and I was feeling so well out there.
Well, Cynthia, there were some concerns that you admitted that your confidence was low after what you deemed to be a subpar Grand Prix season. What changes, you know, we talked about a little bit during the broadcast, but what changes did you make, and why did they have such an impact on your skating today?
I worked a lot of my confidence with psychologists, and they helped me a lot to you know, to see what is going to happen. We prepare everything before I came here, and I worked a lot of for my head.
Well, in the short program, usually that's where you struggle, but not today. The free program usually has been your best. What does it mean to be able to head into now the free skate with that confidence?
I'm going at the hotel tonight, and I'm just feeling confident for tomorrow. I know that tomorrow I just have to skate for fun, enjoy my skating.
Well, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Cynthia Phaneuf, the leader after the short program here at the Canadian Figure Skating Championships in Saskatoon. We will be back with more in just a moment.
Welcome back to Credit Union Center in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, the BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships on CBC. There's our location at the end of the arena, and we're all here on set now. Myself, Scott Russell, along with Kurt Browning and Tracy Wilson, and on a precarious little stool is Joannie Rochette, the four-time Canadian champion. Hey, listen, everybody saw it. What did you think of your program?
Of course, I'm not really happy with what happened tonight. Of course, my goal was put the triple going for it. I'm glad I did, but for the rest of the season, we might take a new decision and think the short program again.
All right, let's take a look at the program, and Tracy and Kurt, I want you to weigh in with your input, and go ahead, ask Joannie any question you want.
Well, there's quite obviously some programs that are more fun to watch than others, but I think I'm so excited about the fact that you had a mental error, obviously a mental error on the double axel, because it looked good going in, and it just became a single somewhere in the air. And I've done it on a bigger stage than the national championships, and it's easy to do. But then you came back. And how did you do that? Like, how did you turn it around so quickly?
Actually, I don't even know how I did that. I think that double axel was just a rhythm mistake. It was fine. I went in it, and the timing was wrong. And my goal was still going for the triple. So right after the double axel, I was able to put it behind me. And so I'm glad I went for the triple, even though it was not ratified tonight. But it was one of my goals coming here. But for the rest of the season, we'll see what happens.
It looked like a very strong triple. So do you take some comfort in that it was a great attempt? It's as close as I've seen you do it in competition.
In competition, yes. I think my problem is that I'm a bit more stiff when the competition starts. I can do much better ones in practice, but we'll see. And for the lots...
Well, it was interesting in your interview with Brenda, you said, no, you were not good on the takeoff at all, but you had to turn it. Tell us about that.
Well, I knew right away when I went in the lots, my timing was not right, and there was no way I could land this jump. But in the air, I was about to open up, and I just said, okay, you need to rotate this. Otherwise,
and that's to get the marks.
Yeah.
Yes.
In hockey, they call it sacrificing the body for the team.
Yes, I mean, I knew it was a foul for sure, but I knew there had to be two revolution in that jump.
Well, it's called trusting your training and timing. It just seemed as soon as you went back for the Lutz that you jumped before you were ready to jump.
Yes,
Am I giving you a lesson on national television?
Yes, I mean, you really need to wait for your right timing, but in practice all week I don't think I've missed one. And
I wouldn't worry about it.
I don't know why I missed that tonight, but I think that my problem is more the mindset going in the short program.
We also wondered if it had anything to do with the fact that you're such an overwhelming favorite coming into this competition. For a champion, a Canadian champion, we've seen this time and time again. How did that play into it?
No, I mean, I've defended my title before, and I mean, I knew how it was coming in. I knew it was a lot of pressure. I was prepared for it. And on the ice tonight, it was just personal goals that I set to myself, and you know, I don't think that was a problem. But I think it's more, if you look back at all my season, the short program is always a little bit weaker than the long, so we need to make adjustment for that.
Why do you think that is?
I
Well,
think
she
the
knew
short
she
program
probably wouldn't do it,
is-
right?
Yeah, if I knew, I wouldn't do it
I'm
like
not
that.
letting you off the hook. What do you think that is?
Hey, you know what? Did you get the rest you needed over the Christmas break? Because we had talked about the fact that you'd been to Skate Canada, the Grand Prix of France. You made the trip to Korea. Did you get the rest you needed to recharge for this run at the championship season on the way to LA?
Oh yes, plenty. I mean, I was coming in, my practices are going very well. I just think that the short program is very different than the long because you've got only 2 triple jumps and you need to make them great. And I think it's a totally different mindset, but I'm very looking forward to the long program.
All the best to you, Joannie. Good luck. Thanks so much for doing this, and we know that you always fight back. Joannie Rochette, we'll be back to Saskatoon in just